Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? I'm sure that's the question that FIFA President Infantino would have been asking the football world at the end of last night's matches. What a day it was for football. Nail-biting matches, of course, and great matches for us to watch as well. We'll recap them in just a bit, but first we'll take a look at today's matches. There are two of them, of course, in the round of 16. This is our coverage of the FIFA World Cup here on Rajya Sabha TV. I'm your host, Frank Pereira. Today's matches: first, Spain will take on the host Russia in their pre-quarter final match today. Spain comes into the match after a testing group phase where they stood equal, with Portugal winning 2 games and drawing 1. Russia, on the other hand, had a blazing start to their World Cup campaign, defeating Saudi Arabia 5-0, following it up with a 3-1 win against Egypt. But they were beaten 3-0 by Uruguay in the last group game.
Spain will take the field as the better side with history on their side. Russia has never defeated Spain since the breakup of USSR, drawing 2 and losing 4 games. Their last match produced a 3-3 draw in a friendly in November last year. But the 2010 champions have not been in the best of forms this World Cup when compared to the side which won the World Cup 8 years ago and followed up with the European crown 2 years later. Spain struggled to top Group B after poor performances against Iran and Morocco, especially against the latter in their last group game where they edged out a win in the closing minutes. Also, the Spanish media has been heavily critical of the team's performance, with a spotlight on goalkeeper David De Gea, who in this tournament has often been seen spooning and spilling on the saves. Their 3-3 draw against Portugal, where it appeared a better side, was largely due to his sloppy glove work, which gave Ronaldo his second goal of the match.
Todos los partidos, ya dice, estamos en Rusia, vale, pero no estamos jugando contra Rusia, los partidos de grupo que hemos jugado, pero de todas formas da la sensación que estamos jugando fuera de casa, porque siempre hay más aficionados del equipo rival, siempre pueden estar abucheándonos, siempre están pues, apoyando al rival y se nota mucho en el campo.
On the other hand, the Russians are certainly having a good World Cup outing on home soil. They would especially be looking at their striker Denis Cheryshev to come out better and resume his goal-scoring spree. Cheryshev has scored 3 goals so far in the tournament.
Creo que, ya lo he dicho antes, creo que es una de las mejores selecciones del mundo, pero contra cualquiera yo creo que podemos hacerlo bien, podemos conseguir la victoria, y eso es lo que tenemos que pensar, en simplemente ganar.
This is the first time the Russians have made it to the knockout stage of the World Cup. Last time they reached the knockout phase of any competitive tournament was in the 2008 Euro Cup, where they played the semi-final against Spain. The Russians ended up losing the match 0-3. Raj Yadav's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, let's now go over to our stats zone, where my colleague Tina Jha is standing by.
Stat Zone, I'm Tina Jha. The first match at the Luzhniki Stadium in Moscow will be played between Spain and Russia. Russia has qualified for the knockout stage of the World Cup for the first time in 32 years. And they are hoping to do well, all thanks to an interesting statistic. Ever since the round of 16 was introduced at the World Cup at Mexico 1986, host countries have generally fared very well at this stage. Talking about the head-to-head statistics, the two sides have faced each other 6 times in the past. 2 matches ended in a draw, while 4 were won by Spain. The two teams last met in November last year. While Spain will be looking for a win today too, their campaign so far has been extraordinarily out of form, as they have conceded 5 goals in 3 group games. Talking about the key players to look out for Spain, it's going to be Diego Costa. The combative Atletico Madrid striker has 3 goals to his name and will relish the chance to silence home fans. Russia, on the other hand, will be looking towards Denis Cheryshev. The midfielder is lighting up the tournament for the host country. with 3 goals in 2 games. And he has had to wait long for this moment. Appearing only sparingly for his national team in recent years, he is now one of the tournament's star players. So let's see who prevails tonight.
Thank you, Tina, for taking us through those exciting stats there as far as Spain and Russia are concerned. Talking about these two teams, let's take a look at the formation of Spain first on our screens, where Spain is likely to play a 4-5-1 kind of a formation. 4 at the back, 4 defenders, 5 in the midfield, and 1 out-and-out striker. That will be Diego Costa. Let's take a look now at the Russian team and see how they will form in this particular match. A 3-5-2 kind of a formation. Of course, 3 central defenders at the back, 5 in midfield, and 2 up front. Let me now introduce my guests on the program. Nilanjan Datta, senior sports journalist, and Jyotian Bharat, former Indian national player. Thank you to the both of you for joining me on the program. Spain versus Russia, Jyoti. The Russians have performed reasonably well. No one expected them to play this well in this tournament. But there's something when you play at home. They've played very well thus far. Could they trouble the Spanish side?
The home support is what they're going to be feeding on tonight. They are a side, they need to believe in themselves first. Before anyone in the world can believe they can do this, they need to believe it. I think it's a psychological game for them today. They're going in as the underdogs, and truly they have nothing to lose. They're going up against a side who everyone expects them to lose to. But if they can really step up that game and take advantage of the fact that they're the underdogs, they could have an upset tonight. We could have that upset.
Indeed. This is not the same Spanish team that won the 2010 World Cup, Nilanjan. There are clearly chinks in the armour.
Definitely. The defense is very much susceptible. My personal feeling, Gerard Piqué, Sergio Ramos are very overhyped defenders. Russia will be having their chances. Where Russia comes into the matches, both teams on form, it's hard to pick a winner. Spain have been brilliant in flashes, not all throughout those 90-95 minutes. Russia have peaked up early, maybe, yes, because was it more due to the quality of the opponents which they had, 5-0 and then another victory before hitting Uruguay and then losing against Uruguay. So form-wise, very hard to pick a team. Going into the match, you look at the names then. Only then you understand, oh, this Spanish side is maybe better than the Russian side. But on the surface, it's very difficult to pick one.
Talking about the names, let's look at the names to possibly watch out for in today's match. The first one, of course, between Russia and Spain. Diego Costa, as far as Spain is concerned, is the player to watch out for as far as the Spanish Galacticos are concerned. 29 years of age, 23 matches, 10 goals is what Diego Costa has. Jyoti, he's had injury worries. He's had some trouble with the club sides that he's played at because of him being injury prone, but thus far in the tournament he's done well.
I think he's been on form. He's someone who's been scoring for them, but I think vital to his performance is the performance of his midfield, who are going to deliver to him. So if Iniesta and Isco are playing well today, Costa's going to get chances, and they play this game with the small passes, and they like keeping the ball, but it's that final ball to him that he's going to convert. So if he doesn't get that, we can't expect him to do much. But so we expect him to score if he gets the chances.
If he gets the chances. Chances, of course, have to be created by the midfield. Is the midfield good enough for you, do you think, Nilanjan? Because, there are some aging legs there too.
But the experience of Andres Iniesta, you cannot take it away from him ever. And what Diego Costa adds to this Spanish side is that he's not a typical Spanish player. Raging bull, but very effective player. And that Iniesta, Isco and Diego Costa triangle, which Jyoti pointed out, can make the difference in this entire match.
Talking about making a difference, there could be another man on the other team who could make a difference. Denis Cheryshev, happy with what he's done in the tournament thus far?
This is his best chance to prove to the entire world what he's capable of. Scoring against Saudi Arabia in the first match was a perfect start for the hosts. But if Russia are able to cash on and sustain the momentum in the match against Spain, the entire world will sit up and notice, hey, there's a guy called Denis who has scored against France. He will be having his chances. There's been quite a lapse in concentration in the tiki-taka football of the Spanish in the midfield. And that's where Russia, who play quite a high pressing football, would be means backing themselves to seize the ball, seize the momentum, play it around. Goals can come in. We have seen goals coming in from set pieces. And once, if Russia by any chance take the lead with the crowd supporting from the back, it can be an entirely different game.
What's going to make the difference today, do you think, Jyoti? Set pieces really, or do you think that it's going to be midfield play?
I think it's going to be midfield play, and I also think it's going to be amount of chances on goal. I expect Spain to create a lot of chances. We've seen them create so many chances. 42, I think, this World Cup so far. And it's about how long Russia can actually contain that, you know, because defending for so long with so many chances is going to be hard. So they're going to have to step up. Yeah, I think it's going to be a matter of who converts those chances.
And if we have to really pick a winner today, Nilanjan, who would you pick?
Going by the names, it looks Spain should be the winner.
And what do you think the scoreline is going to be?
Can be 3-0, can be 2-1.
Okay, 3-0 or 2-1 for Nilanjan in favour of Spain. Jyoti?
I would say 2-0 to Spain.
2-0 to Spain. Okay, all right. Even I think Spain should win this rather comfortably, maybe 3-1 to Spain. Moving on now. Croatia plays Denmark in the second match of the evening. This is the second time that Croatia has entered the knockout stage after a strong performance in the group stage, where it defeated strong contenders Argentina. Denmark do have impressed so far with its strong defence line that stopped France to a 0-0 draw, the only one in the group stages.
Croatia today will be looking to extend their dream run at the World Cup. Coming from nowhere, they are certainly looking as a team that will go far at this tournament. Playing its fifth World Cup, Croatia has entered the knockout stage for the second time. In its debut tournament in 1998, the Croats were able to stun everyone by reaching the semis after defeating a strong German side 3-0 in the quarterfinals. This year, the team started its campaign with a powerful 2-0 performance against Nigeria, before beating the two-time world champions and contenders Argentina 3-0. While in their last group game against Iceland, the Croats came out on top 2-1. Croatia coach Zlatko Dalic said his team was focused on continuing their impressive World Cup campaign.
Znamo da se jako kvalitetna reprezentacija, gaje sličan stil kao što je igrao Island, ali mislim da su za klasu kvalitetni, za klasu bolji. Imaju Eriksena koji je zaista sjajan igrač, koji može napraviti puno i koji može nama učiniti puno problema.
The Group D toppers are also aware of Denmark's impressive performance. The Danish side held a strong French team to a 0-0 draw.
Vi har många bra spelare, vi har ett håll och det är det som har tagit oss så långt som till en åttondelsfinal. Vi vet att Kroatien är duktiga och har också duktiga enkelspelare, men jag tror vi kommer att få se ett annat Danmark i kampen imorgon. Och så offensivt långt starkare för att vi lägger mer vikt på det typen av spel.
This will be the sixth time the two teams will face each other, having a perfect record of 2 wins each and a draw. The only encounter between the two teams in a competitive tournament was in the Euro Cup 1996, where Croatia defeated Denmark 3-0. Vaibhav Shukla's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Let's now go back to our stats zone and see what Tina has in store for us. Over to you, Tina.
Welcome back to the Stat Zone. The second match to be played tonight is between Croatia and Denmark at the Nizhny Novgorod Stadium. Croatia will need to control the ball if they want to succeed. They know they're not the favourites to win and will have to prove a point. Talking about the head-to-head statistics, the teams are level. They've played 5 matches. 1 match has been a draw, while both teams have won 2 matches each. Who will go one up, you ask? Well, we are also eagerly waiting to know. Facing his final chance for World Cup glory, Luka Modric will be the key for Croatia. The evergreen midfielder is considered to be one of the finest playmakers of the modern era. Modric owns 4 Champions League titles from his 6 years at Real Madrid and has also won a La Liga and the Copa del Rey. But the coveted World Trophy is still missing from his cabinet. A key member of Denmark's attack, Nikolaj Jorgensen, will be relied upon to provide a cutting edge for the Scandinavians. He has a nose for goal and an ability to finish with his feet and head. And he will relish the opportunity to impress on the big stage. That's it from me from the Stat Zone.
Thank you, Tina. And let's now look at the formation of these two teams. Croatia first on our screens right now. If we can look at it, of course, Croatia will most probably line up like this with a 4-2-3-1 kind of a formation. 4 defenders, 2 defending midfielders, 3 attacking midfielders and 1 out-and-out striker. We'll take a look at the other team now, Denmark, which is likely to play 4-3-3. 4-2-3-1 kind of formation as well as far as Denmark is concerned. 4 at the back, 2 defending midfielders, 3 attacking midfielders and 1 out-and-out striker. Well, that's the formation as far as these two teams are concerned. Let's now talk to our guests and see what they think about this particular match. Jyoti, Croatia versus Denmark. Can we expect a tight match between these two?
Yeah, I think it's going to be close. Croatia have shown us that they're in form. They're dark horses. Denmark haven't really showed us their goal-scoring abilities. They've only scored 2 goals in the tournament so far. So are they going to be able to score against a pretty tough Croatian defending midfield and good defense is the question. And Croatia, as we've seen, they've been playing with great flair, great confidence going forward. And Mandzukic coming back today, I mean, he's someone I rate very highly. I watch a lot of Serie A, so I see him with Juventus. And him, you know, with Modric and
Rakitic also.
And Rakitic and Persic, all these, they're all combining well together. They're looking good. I would expect Croatia to come out on top today.
Okay. Expecting Croatia to come out on top today. What does Denmark have to do, Nilanjan, to trouble the Croats?
Play the waiting game. Don't try to imitate what Croatia is doing, because the flair of Croatia, free flow passing Denmark not be able to match them at all. Play the waiting game, press, you'll have your chances. The more they are able to deny Croatia, the more they get into the game. And you never know into the second half or maybe late in the first half, just prior to the interval or changeover, if Denmark at all go into the lead. Croatia has not faced such a situation as yet. There's an entirely different scene when you are in the round of, means first round. You know 3 matches, 2 teams can get in. And in the round of 16, where you know at the back of the head, those 90 minutes, if you don't win, exit bells ring for us.
Frustrate the Croatians is what you're suggesting as far as Denmark is concerned. Let's take a look at the players to watch out for in this particular game. Croatia first. We've got Luka Modric. Probably will be his last World Cup, of course. 32 years of age, 109 matches, 14 goals as far as Luka Modric is concerned. Jyoti, this man on our screens right now is carrying the entire team on his back. He's leading from the front as well. An important player for Croatia.
What I find so great about Modric and what they can really rely on is his consistency. Modric has been consistent for whether it's Real Madrid or it's his country. He's someone, when he's on the field, you can expect class from him day in, day out. And that's something that's sometimes missed even with him at Real Madrid. He's always the underrated, you know, he's not in the limelight.
He does not have the flair of a Messi or a Ronaldo, but he's a workhorse at the end of the day.
He is a workhorse. In the midfield, that man is going to give you everything he's got.
Sure. And if you look at the other player to watch out for as far as Denmark is concerned, probably Nikolaj Jorgensen, of course, as far as Denmark is concerned. What can we expect from the Dane?
I would add Eriksen to that list.
Yes, certainly.
And only hope that, as Portugal did yesterday, whenever they were into the final third, all balls, they were looking out for where CR7 is. Play as to who is in the position you need to play. The Danes will be having their chances if they're able to frustrate Croatia.
Indeed.
Win the second balls in the midfield. That's most important. That's where Luka and Modric and Rakitic are seizing it for Croatia. All the second balls are Croatia's second balls. You need to stop Croatia there.
Sure. Fancy a guess as to who will win this match?
Very hard to find a chink in Croatia's armor. Croatia.
Croatia. Scoreline?
Doesn't matter.
Okay, doesn't matter. Jyoti?
I would say 2-0 again to Croatia.
2-0 to Croatia, maybe 3-1 or 3-0 to Croatia is what I'm saying. Okay, on that note, we'll slip into a short break. On the other side, of course, we'll take a look at the matches that were played last night. couple of exciting ones. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.